recently I had to increase my work hours, so basically my side job is now my full-time job, so I have next to no time. The summer heat is like unbearable, and so sitting in front of the PC isn't sparking joy to me either. So I feel very down, or I guess feeling down doesn't really describe the feeling I'm having. I guess like this describes it a bit better. Yeah, that's it. And so I was very happy to find a little cozy indie game with the name Mika and the Witch Mountain. You can just jump in, play a bit, and jump out, and so I like the very like arcadey aspect to it. Yeah, and you play a witch and you deliver packages, and it's very like simplistic and straight to the point. I found a way to calm a bit down with the cutesy art style and the simple gameplay and stuff. And because sometimes doing like edgy artworks and stuff doesn't really help if you feel down. So sometimes you just have to do cute things to do some joy and happy maxing, I guess. And so I was very inspired by the game's UI, icon designs, and the overall like designs for the main character, for Mika. And so I thought, what better way to get into doing more 3D stuff by doing just something simplistic in the mind of the game. So I tried to make a minimalistic, retro-inspired version of the main character Mika. So in the game there are those UI artworks for the characters and stuff. They are very like simplistic and cutesy, and then you have the main artworks and stuff. And so I tried to find a space in between those two designs. And what I like to do is just to block out the silhouette. In low poly modeling, I always work with silhouettes. As long as you can define a silhouette, you get the character you actually want to achieve with your modeling, with your low poly modeling. So that's what I did. I tried to figure out the basic primitive shapes of the character. Like I said, the overall inspiration is a mixture of those simplistic icon characters, a bit of like Nintendo 64 character designs from back in the day, and yeah, very minimalistic and stuff. And as you can see, I did a lot of triangling with the body parts and stuff, and I just jumped into it and blocked out the separated body parts, and I worked with a body mesh, a arm mesh, and a head mesh. And as you can see, I'm jumping back and forth between side view and front view to narrow down the silhouette. And a very important aspect when you do low poly modeling and heads are ears, because ears add up to the silhouette. And like I said, silhouettes are very important, and everything that defines the silhouette is important. So, and everything that doesn't break the silhouette can be included in the texture. So yeah, but in the end it's up to you. And so with the ears you can actually already see a bit more the character, but with the hair and the hairstyle you clearly define a character style. So, and I triangulated and was cutting into the faces to extrude little cones to define the hair shape. So I ended up with this little star like back of the head of the hair. And yeah, then I toggled the next thing, which was the bangs. The bangs was very difficult. And yeah, and the side thing hair pieces in front of the ears are also very iconic and was visible on every individual artwork, so I had to add those two. Basically you block out, you can either like model a separated mesh piece for the hair, or you, as I do, you just extrude geometry and make it part of the head. And yeah, with the hair, you again have to define the silhouette. So check it from the back, from the side, from the front, to narrow down the unique characteristics of the character. And yeah, I'm doing a lot of triangulating. Triangles for the win, man. Triangles for the win. Yeah, next up I'm attacking the banks. The banks, I had no clue how to attack the banks, to be honest. I was thinking about making a separated piece. I was playing around with extruding, but nothing looked right. So it took me quite a while to figure it out, but in the end I ended up with extruding a triangulated piece, as you can see here, and then I was just applying the symmetry of the head to add some asymmetry, because hair looks more organic when you add asymmetry. So everything is symmetrical except the bangs. The bangs are asymmetrical to get more characteristic of the actual character of Mika. The design and the color choices of Mika are super cute and interesting, very vibrant, but also like a bit pastel. Yeah, and there I'm still struggling, and I just can't win with the hair. I think I paused in between. Yeah, and then I was thinking about doing a mono hair piece, but then I split the bangs up into two pieces, and yeah. So I applied the mirror modifier and stuff, and then I, like I said, tried to incorporate a bit of asymmetry. And yeah, the next up was the witch head. And there also like very important to have some asymmetry going on, because a witch's head is something made out of fabric or other materials, but very like, you know, bandy, and it's moving. So I'm trying to get an organic shape for the witch head. And the rest is very blocky and very symmetrical. And yeah. Oh, and here I'm adding geometry so I can bend the knees. I was just cutting up the middle sections and adding more geometry to the joints, so I can bend them for animation later on. You will see a little animation I did. And yeah, also a huge aspect for me was during this character to not overthink. I mean, it took still a lot of time, but I was trying to always go with the second choice. So I tried something, then I fixed it, and then I was going with it just to save time, because I have very limited time with now working full time and stuff. And I love having results and stuff. Oh, there I'm making I wasn't sure about making the broom, but the broom is such an important like element to the game and the character, because the main movement of the game is based on the broom flying around and stuff. So it was like an obligation to create a minimalistic version of the broom. And yeah, that was also super complicated. I was just trying to mimic as close as possible the shape of the broom. But in the end, you have to think about the total composition of how the character looks with the asset, and especially in our low poly sphere community and low poly artists, minimalistic things can still imply the actual thing, so you don't have to go full on apeshit with the details and stuff. And yeah. I mean, I think you can tell that it is a broom, I guess, especially with the animations and stuff. And yeah, so next up, yeah, then I was checking the scaling of the character to the broom and stuff, also important later for the animations. And I was jumping into peer.com, a free image editing software, and I was working, because I had like limited time, because I had to go to work, I think in half an hour after I did this. I worked with color units, so I made this raster, and I made each color unit a gradient. so I could like work in some faded areas, get some darker areas of the same color tone and stuff, and I was basically just working through the most prominent colors of the character. And so the top part, 2/3 are just the color units with the gradients, and the top part, the bottom parts are 1 square, 1/3, 4th, 1/4 is just the face texture, and the 2/4 is just the shirt texture. And exactly there I was doing the pattern of the shirt, the little stripes, and the ring. There's a lot of ring theming going on with her design, and so it had to be in there. And I just was doing again simple shapes, copy pasting the simple shapes, and mono coloring the shapes and stuff. And then I made a little drop shadow, a defined one, to implement some plasticity. I could add more details and have more, more perfect. Basically, I could paint every single aspect of her body with some details and stuff. But like I said, I'm in a hurry. The last few weeks have been very terrible with the night shifts, so I'm trying to get results and still do what I love. But that means that I have to cut corners to achieve something. And there I was painting. I was using the image of her face as a reference, and then was just repainting and tracing the eye and adding some shadows with a darker skin tone to implement plasticity again. Very minimalistic. Other artists are definitely a bit more better than me, but it's very minimalistic pixel art. Not perfect, but I guess it works in the end, the total composition. Like I said, very minimalistic, very simplistic. But I mean, if it looks good, it looks good. Yeah. And you can always do more. And yeah, everything is a process. And with every, thing you do, you learn something. And yeah, I was playing around with some suggested shadows to add more plasticity to her face and stuff. And like I said, I just traced on top of it. And yeah, so that's the cool thing about like using color units and working in that direction. You can basically skip the UV unwrapping, and you save a lot of time, because I'm now in Blender and I'm just like dissecting each body part and just throwing it, the individual faces onto the texture I made, and the color units and the gradients. Now I have some gradient going on with the hair and stuff, some gradient going on with the head and stuff, and I just can, there's so much space for arrows and stuff, and yeah, I save a lot of time like that. Just splitting the geometry and throwing it onto the texture. And I guess like when something is easy and simple, it also, sparks more joy. And currently I'm just trying to, just have fun and stuff. I don't have to overdo it, like with the little animation with my, you saw in the, anyway. Yeah, and now I'm coming closer to the end, and then I can show you a little animation I made. Awesome. So in the end, I ended up with a character model with 468 triangles, the broom and the character. And I guess, that's super low poly, and yeah. And as you can see, it was very like simple, minimalistic, straight to the point, and it made a lot of, I had a lot of fun doing it, and yeah, and sometimes you just have to, lay back and do something for fun and enjoy yourself. You don't have to always, take stuff too serious. And yeah, if you want to check out the rigged and textured character, she's available on my Patreon as a download, and also the untextured and unrigged character model, that basically the base character, is also available on my Patreon if you want to play around with the simple geometry or just want to check out the character. Maybe you get inspired and do something simplistic yourself. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I don't want to be edgy all the time. Sometimes I need to do something a bit different and try something cutesy and stuff. In the end, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it too. And yep, see you in the next one. Bye bye.